Abusuafoɔ bi ma mo nyinaa fi hyia pa oo. Wɔhwɛ adɔfo a ɔmabɛka me ho na yɛba abɛdi yɛn nkɔmmɔ. Yɛkyiakyia mo nyinaa. Megye di yie sɛ Kristo nti obiara ho yɛ. Happy New Year, everyone. Sister Ama fi hyia pa na ho te sɛ.
Afe nkɔmmɛto yɛn. Afe da sɛ wɔn yɛ saa na wɔn maame nso me ho ayɛ fɛ bi.
Oh, ho deɛ fɛ.
Sister we. We see ho anu aka kyerɛ me na me so send me first $, na me so de sisi me ho bi na me do akyi. $30.
Ebe aso be send me dirhams o. Me pɛ me nso me hia dirhams. Me hu bi mpo.
Dirhams ni bi but diary enya diary anansi. Obi ka kyerɛ sɛ ma send you 2,000 dirhams no ani ade. Obi convert na bo.
Oh. Ete sɛ Ghana cedi no. Send you 100 pounds.
What the talk ye? Let me send you 20 dirhams kram de brewa beka say sika papa bi abekwa kwase send about 20 cedis.
1 to 1.
I think it's just a little better than 1 to 1, but yeah.
Shapa, Mr. Topper, how are you?
I think I'm better and I'm fine. And how are you too, Miss Tika?
Not bad at
and
all.
Miss Ama?
We cannot complain.
Yeah.
And this is Kama, Brian Trent Software. I have a big question for you. The last program na here last week, you know. And now your dofu bibisa question or see your cassette or bear name the guy and the woman, the man and the woman both have to leave their parents and the two shall become one. No matter cleave, no matter start a family for foreign. Does that mean say sister ma misum kwaho and no papa ho? And as I say, only senior prefect, my baby abusia. Does that mean say, misum kwano papa ni no? They are secondary, or family biome, and you have to now focus on family for when with senior prefect and
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that this new family is one I'm creating. This new family has members who are young and dependent. This new family, requires a lot of my time and a lot of my effort. If we are going to look at things proportionately, yes, this family should have my focus. Remember, I said this is a family I have chosen to make. This is a commitment which is not forced on me. I have done it voluntarily. And because of the impact on Nkwara and its effect on your posterity, it is my absolute responsibility. Says our new family way. May everything I can to position the kids and pass on to society befitting humans. Of course, in order to be able to do that, I need to create an enabling environment. And one of the key things in an enabling environment for our purpose anyway is a good, happy, secure home. And yes, we will have to invest a lot of time in creating a good, happy, secure home. No? But the no side of it, and it doesn't mean so whilst I'm building that it doesn't mean that a sibling cannot need me, a sibling cannot talk to me. But proportionately, because of the needs of Nkwara, because of the requirements of Ejumano, we are spending more time with this new family. Misi Kasem, with this new family. The responsibility is actually to this new family that are for no papa family. My papa responsibility is to yen first. We love each other and support each other, but I don't owe my siblings sika per se. And as much as I can, I will. But it is my responsibility. There is absolutely no leeway there. It's a dicey one. Yes, you don't forget them. But no, you don't also focus on Ebusiafo at the detriment of what you've created. And that's where maturity should lie. That's the maturity a lot of people don't find. In Tuba, when you say cleaving can be very difficult because you will find so one person is willing to cleave, forsaking, sacrificing, and the other person just wants to take advantage and ship to another side. When you do that, you make cleaving nearly impossible. Obi Wapa, they will intentionally create unnecessary problems and stress for you. You don't want to invite your family members into your marriage, but it's a choice between telling somebody you're going mad. And so the best people to talk to, you will find, are the people you know and trust. Because you know, so woman, what come after you can be as raw as they will hear you out at the very least. They will ring fence your information and protect you. You will find yourself going there.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is a partner who understands, of course, nipa they will from nipa. But then you may be voluntary. And you may be you make a conscious effort to reduce. So when you will be now, or you're willing to commit that way. Now, once you're willing to commit that way, no, cleaving is easy. Cleaving can be straightforward. You don't need a lot of intervention. If you are willing to work and the guy is willing to work, and you will find you are able to manage situations between the two of you. Cleaving and forming this new bond is easy. One obi a wono so hwete investment ana oye kwadwofo you will end up having to take your internal matters outside and you will bring other people in. So whether you are able to cleave or otherwise, no, is dependent on the commitment you make, the investment you are willing to make to facilitate it.
Mr. Topa, I come to you next. Your take.
My take. Well, I largely agree with Sister Ma.
Mm-hmm.
Getting into a relationship, like getting married, right, means, like you said, leaving your family to cleave with your new partner. Leaving here, it's not that you are forgetting. No, it's not about forgetting your family. It is about getting to a point where you are able to, I mean, you know they exist, right?
Mm-hmm.
You love them, you support them, you do everything for them. However, your primary responsibility and focus should be building your new family, which is you, husband or wife, and children. Okay, just as your parents sacrificed and looked after you to the point where you also are leaving, the responsibility lies with you to take care of your family. You need to grow your family. You need to nurture, grow, and eventually your children would also leave and cleave, right?
Yeah.
And you realize that with this scenario, it all comes with society and experiences or circumstances. In some societies, they make it nearly impossible for you to cleave because they want to always be in your business. You know, the moment you try to leave, it's like it's looked at as if you are casting them away. You know, but that is not the situation. You have to grow your family. Tell me, whenever you go, let's say you go to the doctor's office and they ask you family, what do they mean? They mean nuclear family, right? So nuclear family, here you are married. It means, I mean, it's about you, spouse, and your children. It's never about you and parents or siblings. Don't forget that your siblings would also get married and be supporting their family or try to grow their own families. No one is an island. Of course, there will be relationships, right? Yes. So we tend to keep our relationships, but the primary focus here is your immediate family that you are building, which will be your spouse and your children. Parents, siblings, we will support when the need happens, and when the need arises, we will always support them. But responsibility is the children and the wife.
Mr. Kwetigo, why already am I now?
I have to come from. Please let me come from the biblical point of view. But when the moment another few minutes,
in the house.
Another few because I'm putting gadgets together with them. Let the question roll over. We'll get back to this question because it's a very important question.
Yes. We are ready, Amount. That's why.
If I show you teacher,
and Tiabusia, after the dash of the why you discussing and then no. Inti sister ma, inti wo kasa wunya wo ma misum kwa hoi. Na se wo senior prefect wo hoi. Wo ma misum kwa hiawa. How do you approach that in a way where one, ma misum kwa doesn't feel say me be ya me ametete ne hwe ni school bo anu anene. O ware ye de so ani mi. How do you balance that? And also your senior prefect saying say now me you can't say Bible can say ubi anya ne maame ne papa ho ne me ehunam ba kono de na da bia na onan ayentie wo maame ne papa fie sa ade enya me no netie. How do you balance that? Because a big issue obi fi say we dey that
very big issue. A big issue. Again, it's all about how I will approach it at the whether you are strategic from the get-go or uja never to chance. I think sometimes in the negotiation of new relationships, you need to put your old relationships on the table and be very upfront about it. To me, for example, I have siblings. I have 2 elder siblings, but you would hear me reference my little sister because that's the person I grew up with most. And so it's the little one I spent most of the time with. Little one, when it's Mother's Day, you will see her referencing with a mother's salute rather than a sister's salute because there's quite a gap between me and me. When my husband and I were looking to get married, I came to the table with my declarations. We've been like this for a while. I will try very hard, say my interactions with them will not encroach on what we are creating here. But I can also not abandon Womumino. I will not steal your resources and pass them on to my family. I will not be. Interestingly enough, Onukwefri, a bigger family than I am. He's the eldest, the only boy with 4 sisters. So it comes, exactly. It comes as a full package. So we sat down and we had conversations about a lot of things. If your sister needs you to do something, it's not a problem. I am not demanding. I'm just saying, say, treat me fairly.
Yes.
Don't dump bills on me and tell me, say, because Tokrona Unia no one means movie. Men so men cassette me binti, men contribute, me tam diako. Men cassette me ma minti. Me so that my wages only go to me mame and I'm a pushing for. And if I don't do that to you, I will appreciate it not being done to me.
Yeah.
And also, so he was quite upfront. He explained his responsibility and he made it such that I decided with that information in mind. Because he said me decided with that information in mind, when the point comes and the responsibility comes, what tends to happen is the financing, for example, or remitifie, or this year, on the upfront, or the other person knew. And now say, or any £500 or person move 400, and they come and for and bring only 100 to the table so that the other person has to extend themselves and compensate because you want to divert. Now, that's what problems, no. Maybe a problems differently, ever, no. Any pastor winning the what I come to know is the winning the daily. The nipa ni feel is a winning the daily failure. Even when rough situations come, a person will willingly ride with you. But so we be many penny who starts a when yat.
Because your boy had the moon.
One would be in here. Well, man, any mammy, I will be trying to church. We are now worth for £500. They are come out here because what I made the petrol in the events. On your ordinary, when you do that with people, the problems we hear, the tussles we hear, no, it's not actually about responsibilities to places, or it's about unfair treatment. Unfair treatment. People thinking they are clever, wanting to take advantage of other people, so they would take the money to their side, or the necessary but what would you be my hobby? Or be baby. Say you be a fee, so be a new brand will be a new back you will find. So the two parties, even though they are struggling, might still do it willingly and happily because there's that fair treatment. I'll come back. Me my lolo son kabi.
Mr. Pachigo, why are you ready now?
Medicine in action.
Maybe too be. The question is, so warrior, you have to boycott your family.
Yes.
Boycott. The word is boycott.
Boycott.
When we say Abrabona Kasangasa, it's a journey. And then every generation has its own responsibility. So answer na obia when you roll. I don't agree with the notion say nyame adom na say okay to wow nuclear family, you kind of boycott your larger family. There be so we share Israel, the formation of Israel in Poa. God started with an individual, from an individual, no, and then it went to a family, from a family to a clan, and from a clan to a country, and then Israel. That's what we have. That's why we have the 12 tribes of Israel. We believe this in any situation, Biano, they're supposed to father both families hand in hand. It's easy for a man to run his family and also run a business. It's easy for a man to run his family, his wife and children, and also run a multi-million business with a population of almost 500, together with their wives and their children and blah 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 blah. So ansuna, that's what I'm kind of say. Busuebiano, and it's a little role. For example, wo na Nyankopon I didn't say so wo be ye titiri mu wo be ye ebusuapanyi wo ebusuani mu. So what attention you now call nuclear family, so you have also forfeit that responsibility. It is say getimi sorry ekwe juma. Make sure say bibia ko ye fine ametimi gi award ewe juma mpo ye boy abaso no esa be fie hwe se fie su ko ye kama ama wukunu so do kama no. I believe say nipa set me transit. And then we go into ourselves and then look at the talents that God has given to me. Believe it, say, Ubia near Sasiswa or one talent. Ubia with 2 or 3, but just at the other time, no, the other talent, they nyabutre and discover it. Tina say Ubia talent here back. Most people, if people don't want to be responsible, people can make their talent back open and more. He doesn't want to be responsible. He doesn't want to dive deeper. Into media kakram the best one say. An immediate family which you are going to be a prefect to extend your generation. It must be done simultaneously. My example be Ebusuebi or there are about 6 brothers. Now Baku omonu wanko school and kunenimpi, but ono otra na nase. Into ono onim ebusua history no onim history na to nkaka. But the SCC ono ade kakaka ni sema we busua pen no says busua pen de wo sky na as busua pen. almost Oye Juma or Georg former chief director. Almost a person share the lineage of the family, Unimshi, because most of the time we school. To say Nipa when you nuclear family and a bush of Funina, Nimbeni now a man on a bit more US, almost school, almost more Israel, a bit more USA, Marco Honina. Now these children want to trace the family root. So relationship any between the Cecia or no baby Kraban in same. Any they are not tea a bush feel what went to me and school way back or no because of one to me and school to meet an animal and say, the family tree now. The tablet and man made who family no. So I just here. Sounds soon a whom so you may be you have some say a bass I say so star now. Sometimes most teaching most on it who be chiba. Who be almost chiba. A boomy good, a boomy bad. Now, I know my no. They be a cana, you see science, almost psychology. Now, when I dream can, whom they handle. No, we boost your moon, we boost moving on no MC on also the gift and say, obey a quanchre or not me co a chi echo who the busiano, the sacrifice also in a no way. Oh no, this go, but also the a cheddar and coupon the man no. Into nipa say that be woman teach you be some position be na say nyoma enkoye wo ma ye bibia nyoma enkoye I say munko hwe mochi into so okwa ware bisa so omo ba ho aho na oso omko enye ni unua na ono nyame ni nua na tese nyame ntinya nso ne nsa tese sika ntimi nkuta ne nsa I want to use it right. He wasn't wealthy, he wasn't rich enough, but he's been gifted to be able to look into the past and then deal with ancestors and then handle certain problems that are emanating in the new generation. You will go to such a person. You will go and see another pastor. Pastor no obey the bit near. But Obi Anyankopon seems so unknown the spiritual side of the family nation in Sano or no also work. So, I want this subject is a very, very, very deep subject, and we have to look at it into. We don't have to see from the surface. It's not always about sikasem, finance and things. But you see, in Kolane some of the things are good, some of the things are bad. Look, in my own family, it is there. Excuse me, I have a relative who, and I remember when we were kids, we went to our grandfather's place at Anyako. We were there, and then they took us to a place, and they said they want to go and check, say, who was he or who was she. And we got to know that she reincarnated as one of our great grandmother. Great grandmother. Unim say ene. Say abusumfo sorry na so omu di abra sa me cause no yendi na bro because ono no oye great grandmother why incarnate aba nti ono udu na bro udi hu wankasa hu abro so ono they don't touch him no ma ko for as far me can hu masem so atiase some of these things you know. It is not in any book. But let me tell you, the white guys here in America, they know these things. They know them. Anyway, you can see her.
Question, ma. Question, I'm a woman on say. Because question, then the way I understood her question was, where do you strike the balance, though? Because
you can't strike a balance.
You have your parents. Teacher me daddy's girl. Long top I'll tell you me. Me papa to say my boyfriend or that's just been the relationship, and it stems from the fact that I was an only child for a very long time, 6 years, and sana mama can baby did so into your baby I'm Obia will name Dr. Antonio Bia, the first name they would mention. Oh, Shika Papa. Oh, okay, yeah. Into that's the relationship now. Me share will be no obey me na. Where do I strike that balance between a father that I've known for the last 40 years?
Yes.
40 years. And me couldn't say wabem. So that is a very big problem. both men and women. Where papa phobia or what? Say we will say, and answer Mr. Topper because one no mama ba because on one ebe ma that man tempti ono ne mama ye ne dofo. And see how does he, for example, strike that balance between ne mama or don't know when I mommy and son relationship for all this time, and then the wife, as I say, wabemun, because at the problems be brave.
Okay. We are not talking for just one particular person. We are talking for everybody. There are some people in the family. Obi will cry. I'm from Okrasti. A bit missy. I'm not trying to sound very sarcastic. There are some people in the family. If something happens in the family and they don't even attend the meeting, things will still go on.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some people, if something happens in the family and this particular person doesn't sit down, nothing goes on.
Mm-hmm.
A man in such a position, he can't strike a balance. You are both in bed with your nuclear family and then with your larger family, because you play a role. Now go upon the fencing responsibility need the. But the thing is that it doesn't just come like that. Any your commitment to the external family and then to your nuclear family. And remember, it's what you can handle. So I just here. As much as I say, obi timi obi on the wife naming mao, but otimi run business worth 500 people and the business is successful manager award. How is he able to divide and to do the two? Is the ability for you to say that, listen, I will take care of my family and also take care of my immediate family. But the priority here is that you still have your immediate family to fashion into the future. Yes, me one share me, I'm a Monsieur Fifia, Mr. Monsieur Tutu. Mr. Stam, a very beautiful example said that the children are noble, they need more attention. The older our parents know, the more they also need attention because they are fragile, they are weak, they can no more work. The pension fee, the pension fee, this your small be office hawk just canaba. It tells you how weak they are. And some of our sisters and some of our brothers know. Without you, they can't stand on their feet. You know. So what do you do about such people? You cannot just eradicate them. Intina me ka say nyoma ni be no Nyankopon na ma ahoɔden Nyankopon na ma. Nti se Nyankopon ma osa ahoɔden no a, you have to put it to the do it to the best of your ability. And also come with inshira. What you say? I don't know whether I've answered your question.
No, okay. I mean, let me ask it in another way, Mr.
Let me
I'm
answer
coming
that.
to you. Answer.
Yeah.
Answer.
In such a situation, you need to be deliberate and tactful. Yeah. You have to be very, very deliberate and tactful. Like you mentioned, Mama Badadaba. Yes, that is the history, and that is the circumstance you find yourself in. However, here you are with a new spouse, new family. You need to balance stuff. So you be deliberate in your actions.
Yeah.
Whatever you are doing, you must really think it through, making sure that it doesn't affect either side negatively. You cannot just as Martin said, boycott. it's not possible, and you cannot neglect your responsibilities to your new family. So it's very important to be deliberate in our actions.
No, this question is, I'm asking, this is a very serious question, maybe, sir.
I would say deliberate action. Like I said, the funny thing is most of these things is also determined by the guy who is the head of the home and how you set the tone in the home. So especially only anyway, it's not just the guy, the woman too, depending on who the situation is. But one wouldn't your only son. Now wouldn't say your mom is the universe and the middle of the universe. Now wouldn't say we'll be creating alternative universe. You call the two universes and you have a conversation between the two universes. The introduction of the new universe to the new old universe is not competitive at all. The new universe understands, after all, these two people will never be able to do each other's role. As much as you love a wife, will never be able to turn into your mom. No. And I can't imagine you doing what you do with a wife, with a mom. It's wrong on too many levels.
Yeah.
But when you bring the two people, funnily enough, territorial.
Yes.
The mom is territorial. And the woman coming into the house is territorial. Just as men are territorial, and your father would also be territorial.
Absolutely.
It can go in many different ways. The authority figure in your life, the entire life you have had, is your dad. But the minute you have a husband, you are under different authority. You will need to come to an understanding between, but it's the introduction. I've seen people do it so well. The two women sit, you introduce them in an affable manner. You don't introduce tension at the beginning. You make sure that they've met under very comfortable circumstances, introduced each other. I will never, there are times when I'm free and say, hey, who this coffee? Because if it doesn't go, it's my fault. Before, send. And then before we even, I will tell him, before, send. Have you sent? Have you called? Have you done? Because the introduction and understanding was that we are not competitive. His mom is a woman I love just as I love my mom. It is a if anything, me will be a command. It might make things inconvenient, it might make things a bit difficult, but I would do that same sacrifice for my mom. And also she was willing to do the same. No, be him say it goes and it comes and it's sort of even okay. I thought that crow be baby. But that understanding is done up front. The guy is trying not to dump say 60%, 80% of the mortgage because maybe crow. But you try and work a little bit harder so you can offset your responsibilities and still be a fair contributor in home. No anybody who is will try, but wouldn't mean the person is able to be gracious. But the thing is the goodwill from the beginning. The goodwill from the beginning, the honest declarations.
Yes, question it's even deeper than the financing. Relationship now, me name papa and me mommy one. My mom, yeah, but my dad more so, because my dad for me growing up was the emotional figure for me.
Yeah.
I've shared a lot of things on this platform about my health and upbringing, right? And knowing that I had a father figure, my papa, and there's 4 of us girls. And my father lavished us with love from a male figure, to the point that growing up, we never felt that we were lacking. Relationship with their dad. They always felt they needed that kind of affirmation from a guy. And so some of them went into member relationships much, much sooner than I even thought about, because I didn't need that. It was always daddy this, daddy that. So senior prefect. And I listened to some of your conversations and I laugh, because that would have been me and my dad. Relationship pioneer papa way. Utimi sorry papa penima washa natade. Daddy, what color is this? We don't like. Don't wear brown. We don't like. We say. Me mama no I say no hey. No, I didn't know. No, assume no say no hey. One can be. But that's the relationship. Now, going from that, knowing for 40 years that this is somebody I'm meeting me a friend at how do I balance that off with this new papa? Because some guys so fresh papa it's an issue.
Papa. Again, Wushia boy and one man who say, "Oh, Papa is the center of the universe." Now, I took my husband home, Yet na say you didn't come kakra and my papa say ombese no woman nante. So he left us in the house and he walked with this guy. And he says to the guy, me ba no nya papa o, ope. Abrante, uso bi a wompo ho asem. Me ba we di kayire o. Wope. Or say hi. Who will be saying the third and final time, wope. Or say hi. Okay, let me teach you how to marry my daughter. Me ba no. So when ye na we say ya samaba. Debi. Do you
Oh, I'm a Wanjiaba. Mr. Topa.
Yeah.
Yeah, take over from where she left off. Hey, the reception, Ninya, she'll come back.
Yeah, she'll come back. Well.
I don't know whether you can relate to what I'm saying. I have a very, very close relationship with my dad.
Correct.
Which any guy coming into my life, a lot of the time would feel threatened about. I talk to him every day. There's no single day I encounter, not one. How do you balance that off? Because my is so used to him. He's the person I tell everything to.
Okay, so
everything.
The thing is, your spouse, you need to ask your spouse, is your spouse your best friend? Right? In this case, your daddy has become like your best friend. You confide in him. But welcome back. But your spouse has now taken, I mean, with your spouse, I believe your spouse needs to be your best friend. You should be able to talk about everything with your spouse. And the reaction from your spouse doesn't have to be positive all the time. It could be negative. All right. So now with this scenario at hand, right? You speak with your spouse, your daddy every day. Your spouse might agree with you or disagree with you. If your spouse disagrees with you, why is there a disagreement? Is it because you hardly communicate with him or her? Is it because you don't see to their needs? It's like you neglected their needs and all you think about is talking to my dad, talking to my mom. That's all. You know, you should strike a balance. It's important. I mean, in this case, if your spouse is your best friend, I'm sure your relationship or calling your parents every day would drop because you know there's someone else that you can relate to. Correct? Yeah. So honestly, I mean, in such a situation, I believe you can pare it down a bit. I mean, it will not be immediate. So you call your dad every day. All right. So you give yourself a timetable. This month, I'll call him every day. Next month, I'll do it 6 times. March, it'll be 5 times a week. April, you know, you start paring it down little by little. It would not be drastic. It's not going to be drastic. Like, oh, okay, come next week, I'll call him once. I believe your dad, knowing that you call him every day, has become so used to it. It will come as a shock to him, you know, or your mom will come as a shock to her that, oh, how come Chika doesn't call me every day anymore? Then you get in a quarrel. That kind of, you don't want that. So you can just do it gradually. You know, get to a point. Probably, I mean, every day, yes, you'd be doing it. Next month, it's 6 days. You drop a day a month. And before you know it, it has become the new normal. You call 3 times a week. Everyone is happy. There's peace at home, both ends, and there you are. Amma, I think you can continue now.
Let me just let me ask Aku a question, and then I have an explanation here. Aku, you said you tell your father everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to ask you a very sarcastic question.
Go ahead.
The day you are going to make love to your boyfriend, did you call your father to tell him?
No.
All right. So it means that you don't tell your father everything.
Oh, man.
But I know that you have another best friend that when it comes to things like this, you call to tell them. So now I'm telling you that, you see, we don't tell everybody everything. We tell everybody some things. Now, ask another question. Do you call your father all the time, or your father is the one who calls you all the time?
It's a mixed bag, but I call him more than he calls me.
Okay,
because
it's fine.
that's just the relationship we have.
All right. Now, what Lolo is saying is 100% correct. There's a scripture here. It's in Genesis, and here the Bible says, "You will leave your land, your relatives, and your father's home, and go to the land that I will show you." Okay, now this here in this particular scripture is physical. You are living physically. Those days, don't forget, there was nothing like cell phone, WhatsApp, nothing. So when you are living, you are really living, and it takes about a month to walk from your present location to the family house. It takes about a month to walk. But in this present time, this particular scripture doesn't make sense, because even though we have left, we're in America. Just 15 minutes ago, I spoke with my sister. We are still connected. You see the scripture? Mm-hmm. The scripture said that you will leave your father's house. Mm-hmm. You will leave your land. But today we can't leave because we are still connected. Okay. As I've said, in a relationship, everybody has a role to play. Some of us, the roles that we do play is not that significant that even if we don't pay attention to the bigger family, it doesn't make any big change. But if you happen to fall in a situation where you are called to play a major role, my emphasis here is a major role. For example, the president of the country, the president of Ghana, Akufo-Addo, he has a whole country to take care of. I'm using practical examples, and then his nuclear family. You understand? You have to be deliberate. You have to draw a timetable. You have to grow in wisdom, knowledge. You need to come to speed. You need to know what to do at any time. You must be ready for the task. If you are not ready for the task, then I don't know where you want to be. It's a responsibility. Because say, "Mommy, why shame? I'm a missing efifia. Miss Mesho, I'm a wusi tutu." Your husband is your new. You see, women are so powerful that sometimes they don't know they are very, very powerful. Look, women are always seeing themselves at the second place, but sometimes the second place is very powerful more than the first place. Where we see the first place as powerful is when they err, or when they make the law. Those days when a man speaks is final. But before a man will speak, a woman has we are brainwashing, you are changing. That is where how powerful a woman is. Many people say, "Hey, we are all going this direction." Most of the time, or no. That's why I like Nana Kuredu Ajmaronis. Oh boy. Nana Kuredu has spoken to him in bed. Yes. Wakati gentleman said, this year, this is where the country is going. You see how powerful women are. You see, you don't need to be at the front line to know that you are really working or you are powerful. Sometimes even from the back. In such people who are from the back, they are very powerful. Especially those advisors, council of state, spouse. In respect, and I make kind of say, we need to deliberately divide our responsibilities into two. You take care of the family, and then you take care of your nuclear family. Those whites in this country who understand what family is and they understand marriage, when it's time to spend time with their fathers or their grandfather, they go to the nursing home to spend some time with them. They will not tell you. The rich ones, they do it. You understand?
Just Amma.
Yes, ma.
Please continue.
It came at the wrong time. What I was also saying is this problem is not created by one person. This problem is created by a whole group of people. And this problem is also rectified or prevented by a whole group of people. Like I said, if my dad hadn't done what he did at that time, our marriage would be totally different. But basically, what he did was a conversation with a young man in a role he had played before, understanding the complexities. And this was the very interesting thing my dad actually did with my husband. Shocked the core when I heard. Said, Emma, no one said, and my husband is like, yeah, Sikankwa. One more face can't share baby back home. One more dibisha. No me dibia share chiro. Say be ya sikanisa. I have inside her baby sikaship. Uhuni sikani say she kwana ha enka ho hwe because dachi se wan kasa wo hia obeyi ni nyina de ama. Yes ka mani bi. O de be hwe ho. Da wo be hia no obeyi no wo de ama. He explained to this man compartmentalization and understanding. Sometimes it's not everything you meddle in. Sometimes you allow a person's space, and it might even come to your redemption at some point. But it was also a passing of the guard. By the time they came, my husband knew me like the back of his hand. My secrets were all done. The funny thing is, the first thing I made Papa de Chileno was picture beer you try, and I'm at a bathtub, and I'm in shed dross. It was symbolic. It was as blatant as, but basically, this is what this girl is all about. This is all we know about her. And that's information I'm willing to invest in you. I've passed it on to you. You are welcome into this fold. You are part of this group. A position has been created for you. You are valued in this environment. You can come here and we will tell you the secrets in this home. And it's the same thing. Now, my husband was talking to one of his sisters. They are planning a funeral. And
I'm a 1G and they were hard pa. Well, my problem. But Mr. Topa, I come back to you again because I don't think that my question has yet been answered. How do you tip the balance emotional connectivity with your parents and your siblings of old with your relationship with your new spouse? And I'll keep asking this question till it's answered.
I think everyone needs to be reassured. You have to let your spouse know you love them, regardless of the relationship you have with your family or your father, your mother. Your spouse is your spouse, and you love them more, even more than, the kind of love you have for your spouse is different from that for your parents.
Absolutely.
Yes. But sometimes your spouse knows it, but they need reassurance. Correct? Yes. So don't be shy. Don't shy away from reassuring your spouse of your love and dying love. Same way, your parents, it's natural. Having looked after someone and now you are on pension, right? So your finances inflow has dropped. You don't have as much as you used to. So you depend on your children and, investments that if you have investments all over. But basically in our society is the children that would look after you. So for us, we need to play our parts. We are not to, we have to play our parts by looking after, supporting them, You can't just vanish and then say you're taking care of your nuclear family. No. You need to extend a hand to the extended family too, especially your parents. You look after them, do what is right. But in doing that, you don't do it on the blind side of your spouse. You let them know what you are doing. And it will shock you. Your spouse would even support you and prompt you, just like Amma mentioned. She is the one who prompts the husband. Have you done this for your mom this month or your dad this month? She does it because she understands the importance of supporting parents. It doesn't have to be your parents only. You could do that for your in-laws as well. And it's even nice if you would just get up and send in our situation right now, it's the best thing is to send money over. Okay, so it's okay. Without me telling my wife, I can send money to the parents, just like that, And anytime I have to send money to my parents, I don't tell her I'm sending because she knows I would send it. I have told her, we communicate and it's open, So sometimes it's like, oh, come on, why send this amount? Make it this amount, change the amount, make it bigger or whatever, or surprise them with something they are not expecting, So it works.
Sister Amma, I want you to address the emotional issue I'm talking about because I keep asking because answer my question. Finances. I don't look after my father.
Okay, forget the emotional. Yeah, emotional.
Mm-hmm.
I was making a point around the emotional. What I was saying is stakeholders in the daughter. And one person in the stakeholders not playing a role jeopardizes the whole thing.
Yeah.
It has to be close-knit. It has to be close-knit. And everybody has to make an effort to include. So me call my mother-in-law. That's who me name. Me call my mother-in-law. Let me who say other girls the money ba. Me call my mother-in-law. Let me who say advice what they money ba no. It would be counterproductive to me. Ube who say men so my family wondering. Men so to me hopeful. Men so I will start guarding my own. And now say my mother-in-law so who me. No, who me near maybe I may who said no. I've never won you. I've now we are no one in a maddy and a washer. I've now we cry me bandy you didn't want or bet you me bandy mumu jamanasa. She will start defending her position. Remember, I said everybody is territorial. We all are. We are all territorial when you feel challenged. But when you don't feel challenged, there's no need to exert yourself, so you will relax. And I was telling you about my dad's scenario. I went when I go to my in-laws' house, with meeting question when my in-laws fear until feels I'm a daughter in my in-laws' household. They don't actually realize I am a daughter-in-law. They've made it that comfortable. They've made it so open. We can chat with them without any plan. Should we drive home? Nah, I can't be bothered. Let's stay. The reason why I can say, nah, I can't be bothered. Let's stay. They say, like any child of any home, they will make space for you. Yeah. And for that reason, men so time was not near dream parents. I also don't remember they are my in-laws. I remember them as my parents because they treat me as a daughter. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
If Obiba will feel parents treating you as an outsider, it makes it difficult for them to treat your parents as parents. So they will treat them as in-laws. And when you treat somebody as an in-law, you have your wall up all the time. Accountability. Because I see them as my parents, so what they call because he's taking care of my parents. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But my parents, it doesn't bother me. He is a cornerstone child, just as I am a cornerstone child. It means me but the point I wanted to make is that there is an emotional investment you make with people if you want them to include you in their plans. There is an emotional investment you have to make. So what person new woman now treated to say you need to create some space. No some fitting in a busiano. Wouldn't to me ma obi. Well, say a lot of us the way we treat our in-laws, yeah, standoffish. This is family business. You can't know family business. You stay in the corner but send us your dollars. Are you kidding? If you don't know me, my dollars don't know you either. If I shouldn't hear your story, my dollars will not hear your story either. It's a honor you started territorial behaviors, But Senipa you're inclusive. And usually when people are inclusive, one kasakra you're private to the precursor of the problem. Problem need generating sister be about you too, or whatever. You are included in the conversation, so you know the emergency which has arisen. And ya fe no be best Rebecca, hey, me say, asema aba. There be time I hear pam no. You are in the loop, so you heard see a pamakuya. It's what is the or cast into your back from a queer yeah, make one number of TV. BBI is simple. Inclusion is that relationship building, and if you manage to include everybody and build relationships, then the rest of it around inclusion happens almost intuitively. One year, no, that's a expecting magic trick. So obi be say, and would me note her when you obviously for Kasakra woman chiame. Me I'm sending money to I can't pay the mortgage into me and Crofono woman chiame no. Me mortgage in the first come on. Are you mad? I won't do it. Because they have become strangers because of the way you conduct your affairs. And strangers are not priorities. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Relationship. When you have relationship with people, sacrifice is easy. Sacrifice is not a problem. I hope
that made sense. I have a question. The question is this. Intino, yamfani se bia woni ukunu wanya ntokwa. And now papa be piso, and now mammy soon kwa be piso. O mammy by no, mo could a heated argument, and now o mammy say, Ama, Bessin Cotinasi, we're leaving. You're in the middle of a fight. No mammy say, sit in the car, we're going home. Which of the homes do you go to? Do you follow your mom back to O mammy no nianum fee, no papa fee? And I said, do you remain at home? This is all part of emotional seminar making.
It depends on how old you are. If you are a child, you run home with mommy. Because that's what children do. You run home with mommy. If you are an adult, you fix situations. And you tell mommy if you want. Or you might not tell mommy. What I've come to know, again, from experience, they say, you might have a fight with your husband. You might tell your mother. But Papa no, Omawo, if your friends say not just upper, you will forget what upset you. The problem is your mommy did not enjoy that experience with you, so your mommy might never forget. Your mommy might never forgive, even though you have and you have moved on. And in order not to pass that baggage to parents now, it's much better that situations are resolved by the two adults who are creating this situation and are in the system.
Into mami abeton tokwa so now see ama this is not it. Send yam tokwa na escalate ya bedru no. Besin. Ubeka tro mami say ma odi di kan coffee. I'll sort my
really,
stuff out.
It depends on the situation. Yes, sometimes it's a life and death situation and intervention is required. But ordinarily, if my mom comes here, we will call the fire service. I will thank her very much for calling the fire service, and I will see her when we finish with the fire. Because she hasn't left her fire either. You have to remember that. And what is now a very comfortable home for me to run to is also her fire station too. Until if she's able to build a nest out of a fire station and afford a place of refuge, maybe I would also want to give it a chance to see if I can build a place of refuge for my kids to also want to escape to at some point. The point, again, as I keep saying, is whether you see yourself as an adult who fixes situations or you see yourself as a child who runs to parents to fix for you.
That's awful. We can see you laughing. What did you want to say to us?
I'm laughing because I remembered an adage my grandfather said to me. I will say it in Evi, and Lolo, maybe you can translate it into Chi. Ubera afide, no doleshide, you know Rajraram. You understand?
No.
Okay. Afi, no a doleshi. Definitely, whatever bury, you know, never from Rajrana, Benyaba. No one let cook ever get a doom. If I'm saying that, a crowd needs to wood to crew. With me, Jana Kosh, Otifia, no, you're more dear. Because when you say, oh, bet you know, back what's on. You see, so free, so also a banner, so warrior. You have to mature. Maturity, no, your personal responsibility. You have to grow up fast. Because you say Arabia and some woman, you shouldn't anticipate say a bear from. Because say when you be big cry, oh mame, kasaka, oh mame no papa kasaka ba muntem no. Just look at how they resolved it. You're supposed to pick certain signals from there. Periodically, you have to always recall your upbringing. How did mommy and daddy, how did they solve issues? Look, most of the things that I have learned in life, I learned it from Obra, also for Dazi. Showcasing. I'm not going to say agro, but not the be woman. Yeah, for free. Look, my father never taught me sex education. My mother will not. When the first time my mother saw condom in my bag, Martin, what is it? I also asked her, what do you think it is? But then we form 5. Now, oh, senior ma, and also me family, you know, so now they should be back. They should pocket me. It will see a dear friend, some one, and in fact, we know. Oh, I dare yes, so for the all wound, so we don't need back. He was shocked, and I was standing right before and behind her. So definitely, very she had to say something to Martin. What is this? That's Mama. What do you think it is? Mr. Out of ferry, and I'm making cast. I want to be free. Okay, what I say?
So now we're talking about gender presume.
Okay, Sika, I really respect you for how much you've spoken highly of how you are so connected with your father. Some of us who wish that we had things like that. You go and sit your father's lap, but we are all not the same. Our upbringings are different. Maybe the way my father treats me, that's why today I'm so strong today to be able to handle my affairs.
Yeah.
Unim, sometimes no, I am a someone who said, yes, the way we relate with our parents, in marriage, it needs to be very tactical. Because don't forget, we all have emotions.
Yeah.
Maybe Papa who said, "Oh no, my make kasa for 30 minutes." The following day, he wants to discuss something with you, but you are still on the phone with your mother again for the second day for another 15 minutes. In fact, for the first 2 times, because another, don't I feel? Can't I? Am I not important over here? Who said so? Why remove a certain? I don't know which word to use. Certain characteristics, you have to just reduce it because you've been given a bigger role now to be a wife to somebody, to be a mother to to your children, to be the number 2 in a new home. Sometimes when business say, "Oh, papa ne tafro pi ana who na tafro ma papa pi," and also sometimes we have to be very tactical. Last week, Mikasimbi said the things that we are complaining today, and then Nyami Aduna say, you did 70 years, 90 years, we will end up doing the same thing to our children, and our children will be complaining.
Yeah,
it's a cycle.
Yeah,
as a father, that's my buyer, and that's my friend, I'll do it very snappy. I'll do it snappy because me or Bema. Men in template to say, and even after talking to him, make sure if your husband is around, I would like to say a word with your husband. But I'll try as much as possible say, and you're constant, and you're dear, maybe because if you are independent, then you must be independent indeed. Even emotionally, you must be independent. Because you cannot hold on to your dad's love forever because one day he's going to leave you. So I just say, I understand. But he's your father. And also can say you have to trust your husband to build a relationship together. For you who think that you are wise, you are highly educated, you can bring a change, you must be the example. Most of the time, some of us who think that we need a change, though we can be the example, we want the example to rather come from the other end. And it's not coming. You want the change. Why don't you start it? Why don't you hold on to it? You understand what I'm saying? Emotional security it's emotional security. You have to trust. You have to trust yourself and trust your husband. When you are trusting and it doesn't work out, then maybe it's also your destiny. But please, if you want to enjoy your marriage, try as much as possible to limit the intervention of external families. You know, calling in. Say, no, WhatsApp, no. Go for Ghana, WhatsApp in Tia. Those days now, WhatsApp in New Hono. They have to go. They have to buy a card and call. Every minute is 7 cedis. They say WhatsApp is free. So you should know.
When they're free, I'm with your data. You pay for
their
data.
Data. They say data so abandoned with music for about a month. So you see, whoever is calling you every day, no, try and see beyond the call. Is a person calling you because of who the course he's calling you because assembly or hope person to him and or no so nishi you have to look at it. Don't forget, you are a married person. It's not only your children are depending on you, your husband is also depending on you. He's looking around, he's looking at you. Because in effect, so also notice that every 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. na mo adida no work or downstairs ke hono na me di nkomo ubeto a wo ni beji. So the same thing. You know, so certain things, you know, if you want the right, it should come from you first. So that you can stand on that and rebuke your husband and say, listen, maybe my father said, I don't talk to my father like, why are you always talking to your mother like that? So I just say, it's a hard decision. You have to take the hard decision, that hard road. I'm talking to mature people here now, married people. So I say, but I'm not saying that you should do this without any emotion. You must do all these things out of love. You know. Fine. By Edwin.
Is that Topa?
I guess we've answered your question. We haven't.
Your question, right?
I think to some degree you have. I mean, my situation at this particular point in time is quite peculiar. I don't have a husband, and so
that's it. You're not supposed to. We are not supposed to be having this discussion with you because you don't have a husband. So you have to just take whatever we have given to you and let's move on with the next question.
And yes, satisfactory. I met him maybe and you know, we were talking last week about how to retain, manage, and keep the flame going, how to keep the sparkle, how to keep the sparkle in our relationships. Last time, effective communication, respect for, you know, either party and all of that. We delved a bit into and as I say, of course, we bedroom. Yeah, me friend bedmatics, you know. No, a honor and name a twice so. This time, I just say maturity has to play a role in trying to balance off your relationship with your parents from your past life and that of your new family, your new nucleus family that you're now creating. I call you guys the Big Four. You are all full of sense, and I've learned a lot from you today. We thank you for your comments. Keep watching. But, also, Christmas in for example, you went to hide in your hole. Evazwa fever better dome. In a better dome, and you won't go on. When we read in an shares at to Kunim. Your fellow crying and come. A question I'm a person may be sound say. What are some of the things that the pair of you have done that has kept the sparkle in your relationship? I don't know how long you've been married for, it doesn't even matter, but how long, what are some of the things that you've done that has kept things going, kept the flame burning this long? We've seen all your statuses on Facebook and all your pictures in your groups and everything. We see all those things. What is it that you do that has kept it going all this time?
I will say that it is the doing of the Lord. If people say that you should look for your bone, your rib, I would say that I've been lucky. So sometimes I want to use this word lucky so that people will really understand, because blessing is beyond everything. I've been lucky. I'm a very jovial person. I'm very playful, you know. I'm very, very playful, and I have taken that into my relationship. And I always make sure I always play around her, you know, unfortunately for me, she's a type that never gets angry. But the buffer 1, 2, 3, 4 within 5 minutes, she forgets about it. I want to miss so many advantage. It doesn't mean say I use that name more there. No, but was it yesterday? Yesterday, in Komobina, the catcher said, "Oh, I'll be meeting this program, and I need to say something on this program." And also, what do you intend to say? And so I'll talk about something that I discovered. Yes, sir. I've been doing the thing, but I never discovered it until in Rapid. I had a very beautiful way of explaining it. Because when you're having ordinances with your spouse, you have to hit the offending, what's the name? The G spot or whatever I think. And then me check coming. Let me say to me do hormone. And then me catch madam say, she should locate the place now. But you see, me na coming. I can imagine exactly where the spot is. And so I don't know what she had to do is to just keep on scratching the whole back, and I'll be directed. No, go to the left. No, go to the right. Aha, that place. Continue. Lay emphasis on that exactly that place. So I did something. Who's the meaning of monster?
A horse is effective communication.
Hey, I said, Ediano. You are trying to locate the G spot. On more information. No, go to the left. Go. You have to pay attention. You don't have to go ignorantly. Say, oh, the feelings about the fears. And so we usually scratching the back. No, I mean, our parents do that with us. Oh, come and scratch my back for me. Then it's your responsibility to locate the point. Into tree, no, go to the right, go to the left. Wait, go down. That place, correct. Continue. I like it. So that's here. Inti you should consciously do it. And you say, and today I feel like doing it. No way, there be. You understand? It's a course. And don't think, say, and then because of say if I prim left into a any perpetual position every day I left they be for maybe and then you're right.
One plug.
And you're right. One
plug.
Into a whole and I know my twins, it's like I never stop telling her how much I love him. Even if sometimes you don't mean it, just say it. You might not know which of the balls that you are shooting into the 18, which of them will enter the goals. I mean, telling your wife that you love her does not take anything away from you. Because one time we had a misunderstanding. I think what happened? And I'm saying BBC, sir. The BBC, sir. We go full. Not me. And I was about to leave to go to work. And my friend said, "Oh, Martin, wouldn't you give me a kiss?" Say kiss, he made me the amount. What I say. But me both for crack and still kiss you. I'm gonna say, "Oh, so won't you pray with me?" Oh, will be in the both for a bonfire. So immediately, no, I say before you free me as I meet me bonfire. And this is what she's also adopted ultimately as a calm me. Whenever I am angry and she wants me to do something, we have to learn one another. Like I said, me and strong. Yeah, I must know her weakness. I must learn her strength. The other day, okay, I me picture of to Facebook. They say onion tea bread in mommy. She's an American. Now, one thing she always likes is bakery. And whenever she's doing the baking, I try as much as possible to be by her side. If I have, hey, oh yeah, a sinking you.
Yeah.
Andrea, you see, I'm setting very petty examples. Andrea, near movie be The Crown about the British monarchy.
Yes, The Crown. Yeah.
Now, it got to a point. The Queen was they were introducing a new prime minister to the Queen. Now, I didn't Queen is saying it was green. Now, I quite say Bibi or has say Oma. They say, I don't know how to say it in Tomano. Oma himself say bow tie, but and I'm kind of honey. Look at that thing. It will suit you. Next time when you are sewing something, try and do that design. That's why I like to watch classic movies, because in classic movies, the words over there are different. I love classic movies because I pick a lot of colloquial vocabularies from there. You see, this is the kind of conversation I used to have with her. And then because she's very highly educated, you have to try and match her from that point. You should bring up topics, debatable topics that will bruise her mind.
That's right.
That's why your wife will say, my husband is very smart. So you need to know who your wife is, or you to know who your wife is, and then try and match. You don't need to be a degree holder, but at least you must be informed. Mm-hmm. And always make the house very lively with debates. Most of the time maybe she's going to win, you are going to lose, or whatever it takes. Sometimes just lose, but the fact is that for the next 30 minutes you've engaged in thorough discussions, and that's it. And that's how we do it.
Mr. George, I think more.
Not blessing, more blessing. This have where them like say, oh, slap me, Susan, call me Susan.
Start joining. Start joining. Have a conversation me about senior. You better manage your parents. Our near striking the right balance. And yeah, come when one as say, ya bedroom baby, I know any Jim say.
And I'm coming for me. Hi.
Ya pesa o my and near ma. Techniques are we using or bedmatics in the more and no etimiama and near my etimi at the aya the dashes will captain so all these years. Ebimusi or mushia for na ne jadem, but a do baby penance a journey yerdum and near my ben a wire wetimi a key piece as spackle.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Samichia, Adophonia Tifuna, more support to your sister Sika, panelists, so I must munyam reba, I must move share more experience, more use some of the things I heard Mama Money, Mama, to say, our really relationship, so, and the way you're connected emotionally. But it's a new coping skills bebre wo our really relationship you move bebre I am near escape because you move be relationship now our real one. A man no expect to say be man no yes or man energy and a be man no expect to say your bastard say or no na o man energy. But in reality no wo yan kasa no see a ho adwuma because it's the one near nija wuntimi ma wo ho ka for ani and wunnim oda wuntimi ma wo ho ka for odo wunnim kasa wuntimi ne wo ho ka for and connect in a way mobile connecting and wunnim mrea that ya mo pema grodi e be se mu tu nika fon baako da bia baako be enjoy the other one and I when you oba anasa be ma na wo mpa adichin a Debia one style, either say missionary, and I say doggy style, and I say wheelbarrow, and I say yem mabe almost bo masemium. And one saw that one no say tibo, or no I won't so on fun and say
me pacho the any wheelbarrow no, I don't mean that.
Wheelbarrow, Mimi Abema, what's one tader?
Pacho daddy.
Okay, now description. Someone who says I mention for no more year Juma, right? Almost year Juma, Sa will barrow no more than you make naso I saw mu at the corner. Nipano, or bano, Ukuno now, they will be I don't go, when you make it. It's who's sonny in a way now, or Pejani Mukura won't think it. Was we say a monkey be now 1 year or he's letting go the tree, no. So I know soon mano a good interest. What you mean penetrate to cover the upper circle. Now then one I'll be a was stage 1 and 2.
Of course, second heaven.
Second heaven, a wheelbarrow will bring you there. Yes. And you know, one man, as he is not there, by a man money below. No cranny, Yamian, no cranny, and Raddy. Mama, may be grateful because we're banning I didn't watch the Bayman. But now then we are too near now. What dear was saying, Masaya, my time, me, yes, she have a front. I have experience, but me experience now, me wanna. Nipo muni me no because say, hey, gay, do you know, Papa? No, I have like just a few partners. And inside you. Now, my experience, I know from reading romance book, Nora Roberts. Now, Nora Roberts' book, who reading now do that you almost have a sex now. Sometimes I'm not sexually active. Me who to me and baby, do not mean what orgasm. Into that baby. Oh, I'm not knowing what orgasm is, you know. I don't know, you don't have self-control. Sometimes let me mean masturbation and can masturbate too rough. Let me mean, you know, sometimes, you know, to spike our bedroom performance and young Pamu you know, and so we see there. Now, say, cry there, you be a macu. Eh, Sister Amaya, where is she? Your friend, 360 days sex move positions by Randy Fox. Fox with double X. Randy, no, R-A-N-D-I, Fox, F-O-X-X. You Google, you're gonna get it. Now, this position, you know, it tells you how many days we have in a year, 365 days.
It will be a new position.
A guideline on each day to learn new, different position, to kind of like entertain your bedroom, be creative.
I see a Toby, my boy. See, your software. Yeah, I
agree. A free ponto. Now, in fact, some of the position, maybe hey, me who are the banana to that extent. I'm not going to that level because I dear back where by me yapa, some foolish say, a DNA. Hey, let's see, Obi people say, then we are no, we are going some home. And you know, I pick and choose which one I like. So far, no, I have some of my favorites. I will share some of them, but I won't share the others. And no, it's my secret between me and hobby. Now, when you go into 365 now, check out number 17. It's called paddle pleasure. Now, pleasure, what you do, say, Obano, would that one, and you would that one, man, now with the pillow, to have to lift it up. Now, and we're outside, we're left leg, you know, or right leg, whichever one you feel comfortable. But to say, may your right knee, the left leg will go outside my husband's leg. Now, may they are two neha across from here to from my leg to position side or no actually nas we're booking in them need so ain't you know a man of good interest into atopambutious and you who are everything.
I'm a natural.
And
then you go to number 18. I do combination.
China me drop. Me drop.
Oh my God, Sister Alma, we are too much. I knew she was gonna come with this. And then you go to number 18. Number 18 is known as the outsider.
Now, this is a woman number 18. So when that's the that we be able baby and patch on. Don't go number 18. I don't know why I know about number 18, but let's continue. Let's go.
No, she does know why she knows about number 18 because she's been there. Okay. Now, let's see. Sister Yaba no timi chire ni twi Sister Yaba chire ni twi Hey, you go feel it. I'm here grab free. Where you never cut it by force. Now, boy, it's number 18. Hey, sister, madam. Me translated the brofu to tree.
Okay, can I mean translate him out?
Okay, so the outsider no. The lovers get on their side, right?
I don't want to that woman chemu.
With the man behind the woman. His legs are outside of hers as he penetrates.
What the Nenaya for sister who know the room?
Her vaginally. You know, to say I won't find question it too. What the question I say? Ne tongue. Now, sister, I see Yehovah. We not can Yehovah.
Okay, I don't ever see about the here special translation. I do say, wo back Castro, no back and front no. The patch or free front and same back.
No correct. And no correct. And then she complements his thrust with circulating hips move. Ain't you know I
just say we contempt from the Dorsa translation. I just say who was she but who was she and crew a circle. What you say?
That is the forum when you continue to repeat that until Tupana Bemani Bruno or Bana Quamos ne square and or Jibemana Basu, Bobemana Basu, send a bay circle, never does on Cruano, a bear cosuna basuntino. Sometimes we are back on excited, but we combine your favorite now. Is them?
I do say about today. I have to say my disclaimer. Pacho wa kumayari enti adwene futu. So who was this yari abesro adwene futu. Diabetes to cry ya wanko. I do papa bi okofo dia na na ebi beto.
Disclaimer already saying okofo pi by you. Okofo pi.
At the time, and
no crack.
One breath, I draw away what the mere sabbath and enemy did at Chicamiu. I didn't have ready to go to hospital 3 days. Miss Ramo, I got some power can so Apomodia, which be what is Miss Manco? And I draw your class my ready, my family.
And there is another one I like, but I'm skipping that and going to 29.
Maybe now I was skipping. I don't know me.
Man, I am say you're traumatizing me, man. Also, for
oh, say it's you. Say it's here, dear.
What's K 29 right? 29 no, is known as the tender. Listen to the word. The
tender. Ensure tender.
No, like
tender. You know, delicate, like, right?
Very delicate.
Oh, delicate. Okay.
It's called a tender trap.
Hey, you see a friend and the tree, me attach.
Me attach.
Now, this time I'm loving this. Now the tender trap, you know, right? The things she got him right where she wants him. This one, in this instance, you know, the woman will be in control of the thrust at Topano.
This started like a video, no.
Beman bet me a buatupa dre, what to me a peja kakra, but this position there, we in charge.
Oh.
The man
just who obeys Moses also. Oh,
I know. The man lays flat on his back.
Yes, it Dahokojo top
with his legs outstretched. And the woman mounts him from once there, she can hold him deep inside her vagina by squeezing her legs together. A power play that is fun for both.
Ooh, yes, yeah, very audacious.
We say no, Bemano etimi de nensa ebe so obane no funim play with obane no fumiemi and send your PBNT with
attached.
The man will see the movement of the breast, which will excite him more.
I just say about telling translate it. Still, Obehu some pokiani huri kosro. Pressure kosro.
No correct. Into Obana to pano obebuno. So Obana, oh, let me go to English. So that the thrust the woman will give, when she's getting, escalating, right? Getting ready to release, the man can tell. So the man
I do I say at pane frokosro ne dru sro ha papa ni behunu
What the man thinks is not. So I say like in making love, right? Or having sex, you have the man, when the man is in control, once he's going out now, the woman, you have the power to push it back in. And then once he's coming in, the woman, you go back. So you guys are entwined, you connected, you never separate, right? So it's like in this position, once the woman is, getting to the level of releasing, the man can see that. So he also can take that opportunity to flip the woman over.
Hey, with the boss, this time
I just baby Adruno. Say, sister, why you will come? Brady, I hope a pretty and you bet me a book home. So I really over. Sister, Mr. I have because
let me do it in a sensible way, whereas they don't break the neck. So in these instances, what happens is that there are some men who like their women to come on top of them, and there are some men who wants women who wants to be in control before the women.
Because baby, I can't say we could bedding. I just think phobia or home any before. The dead and quite home the Srohan Womope. So what do I say? Ha, and I joined us Anna. No, correct. That's it.
And to say with this different position, and son, I'm getting into it, and you need to have a conversation about it. So when it gets to certain level, do you prefer coming on top of me, or do you want me to take over?
Say dear, Mobesing Konyanam and Crawford in Cobo, I'm mobile for penny paper. Let's draw to Adra the Menabo had nature say. Yamukosi and many Mary, but who's some demons up in Pim Hoka was in riding. You're ready, Cobo.
So what happens is that once you guys agree upon that, when the woman gets to that excited level now, the man will bend his leg, and he will bring his leg out, because remember his leg is extended. And to not sound over to me, I turn it over Obano gently, and say we'll piano and nani basu to get.
I do ask them now. Patch and I see where you found classes. Some of my home. And one more night. Who when I could be Baba, Miss Row, piano, Debbie, and one who was sipping when animal cacra, sad, chewing them enough for cum. Yam, there could be our hot. I do go to Jaw will be by your maybe and he said,
once you bring your leg now, your knees up now, you use your left hand and your left hand or the right hand, depending which hand are you, to support your woman's back to bring her down to the bed. Once you bring her down to the bed, the nurse is saying, no, you are on top of her. So you can choose to do wheelbarrow, or you can choose to have a doggy style, which means you have.
Hey, I just have a baby. I could over speed room. I just stay. Ya bubu dine you know. You do wheelbarrow, Bessisa. Yes, stand here, push you, baby. And now say, what pectorate me, Frank Ram, and I know Mudia, and I join us.
Yeah, interpreter Bakope.
I know, right? So, like when you have certain position now, you can also utilize other position to enjoy at the same time, and you can come back to that.
I just say, so what the better for? The see ya who so ye nyina nso a wutimi keka ne ma bom ha na me ka kire me say diabetes for no manye akoma yare for manye ukoto dempo ya o ya manye ye ne maako nti ya adwo asem because adwo we na anu nku okume you adwo
Oh my God. Okay, it might be my package. Can you check for me, please? Oh my God, this is about you too much. So, like most of the time, no, a lot of women don't know when you sit on your man's kwaku don't throw, Mr. Free, and then money jina hoche.
I have to disclaim her. Me pacho sister. So bankulicious stomach no amesro adjust ne kakrawai. Extra for no so me chiamu nyina me pamocho. Anya no 15 to anyone kokuo bi ba be ma mesro. Wo hwe na wo mu adura, wo be so bibi mu osoro ho wai. Na tara suti na de niam nyina be peche wo bi ba mesro so bibim.
Thank you for the disclaimer.
I just hope I would papa bia na no yesi okowu okofodua case ni say ha me pa na monti case no. What you go for
do tell.
Papa kwakwara a wone ne yira kwakwara te. No dada ne yire so wo ko your friend is saying a trek.
Wow.
Yes, a red suitcase. Ni nrokra wo matching red bag. Okofodua wo du okofodua no kita 2000 cedis. And I could put your payments. Nyehwehwe animu. Abaya yam so di 12. Oh, kind of woboa. Akwa ne ye the jet ticket. Ni ese papa buy no mum. First round ni gig sister ne ka se bra ne wa hode no so ne ono so ye return match. Ye return match the hu yan sa se obi nka hwe. Ye na ba ko agai home.
Wow.
Yes. I ho yam hihye kra ba ya ne ko no wanka ya fa 2000 cedis no. E ho di case no. Ti mesrem. Asa na wo betra tra nkrofo maso no. Me para 2021 yes remo. The cause of death ni yen hu de yen twere. Anti me sremo ara.
Yen pe overload bia.
Mo ba mo fa nkonwa mra. Aya mo nsuso nkonwam. Why? O de mo fa homa kra nchichiri ba bi na mo kitam because tada wait ni bi wotimi kum nipa.
Most definitely.
Makawi adwa twaso.
Yeah, and a man nso ebi mu ho no ma omuni omu who can afford that. Like some of them, no, they don't know how to support themselves with the woman. No, omu waiting not to obane. So you can't do that.
Oh, many majwa.
I know. Yeah, there are some people they can brace their arms to prevent themselves from putting everything on the women. I have a sister who says every time she's going to have sexual interaction with her husband, no, she's fearful and she doesn't very much enjoy it because he put all his weight on her. And sometimes she's having problem breathing and she doesn't know how to tell him. I was like, girl, you crazy.
Yourself aware,
yeah, I was like, you crazy. I'm not done
because for disclaimers, because one for disclaimers and come here, ye baby, and fast when you so. Miss Remo, I just say, Mumubi wo ha, mo ya mubi here, homa, Namdi chichiri baby. But positions in patcho, I do me here special request. Well, who one more who are dear that channel.
Min sending come on.
Debbie. Me patcho be book Jerusalem book no. The one we position back one. And when the microphone are there no who ya channel. I want papa for no one more food to say West Germany no idea any task here hockey ticket. I did a task here to be who know Germany for map no who need me patcher.
Cocktail sausage,
They should be on quite at home.
And the young Berman in Kwam.
Oh, sir. But sir, no,
how much I didn't be BBS to your baby. I didn't be to your baby now. Was you know any case?
Now I feel now call exploration mission.
What I say, baby, I will crash into your honor, there's no disappointment. But Oka baby BSS BB to your honor, who know. And then I didn't say me, but Mr. Adwash Jerusalem book no Maya Bakubia. And who has a member or ya available to be crap find the fan of Shishan and I'm the moon fin her baby. Oh.
And they have to go old fashioned 69. Why? Because it's our styles we say no and then
Debbie. 69 there's so much changing here 29 because 6 and the I'm how
say be a chuchino ebeboa but say mema mo kwaku don so no no some mo sha say commando meaning say mo ofia mo nhyem mo boxes mo nhyem mo sporter mo nhyem ni kana mo ma kwaku don so on have fun now walk around with it
for world peace. Well,
yes.
One shepherd that Goku knows about elongated and
yeah, say the movement, you know, say BBN support, you know, it can, you know,
elongate it.
Wait me, yes, wait me, I grow by say an inch or two. Be
really?
Yes,
no, but educationally, you know.
Sister, what did I say? Was Ajwa who was speaking? I'm only translating. What did I say?
Educationally, and here Pastor Yemberman, you do fear sana. We need to just take off all our underwears and then just put on the boxer shorts because most of the hours, almost about 8 hours at work, you are in the underwears.
Yes.
Yes, and now your testicles, they are all packed.
Yeah.
It is a me do fiesta now. I just want to just get everything all and just put on my sweatpants and on them to fear. Say the
yes.
It's very educational.
Yeah.
Saying was you feel free because hey, you are driving uchika cry, you are your underwears, you are underwears, you are underwears. Everywhere you are underwears. The only place you can set that thing free is not only when going to bed.
Amma has a question.
Yes, at home.
And your hand I must to a man for when you know what to say, my man is society, near much baby, I want to cherry woman.
Indeed.
Your ticker no near session, near my dear, why I shall see you now, so soon.
I'm a pumpy.
You are body power actually. Sister, and Papa for this woman from young from home. Also, you put in a free video because they say so.
Yes, but it's
equal rights. Equal rights.
Equal rights. But it's so catch it all. Recently, I had this conversation with somebody. No,
Emma, push-ups here. But say, Oba. Obetimi, I try to do push-up one day at a time. You start with 2, and then the next day you add 1. You building your upper body, no. Ono for no say atia gukurampona with that stamina netimi mano more bright yakra and tingu sa. I mean,
joy. We put they say baby be jina and papa for no more you are notice will be doing satia go and tingu. And Papa for the cast woman you want me who so be checking. I said, baby, baby, and I said, baby, baby. So, yeah, free,
more penny tinting, almost penny.
And yes, I almost almost some man from Afa, why you say, yeah, dear man from Afa, who be an
but sister, myself, like sports brand, sports, you know, your Tasha, Speedo, say, you know.
There be no crap 21 years old. What is your man from Afa?
What was that? When we say a friend saying, and then will be born commodity that day. We say Bobby stand, no say your Bobby stand. Who said Bobby stand na your fan call presentation no. And the MP what is here.
No
But say Bobby na afole no and yet me bobo.
Hey.
Maybe I share Brazil need gina ho and what the call dinner. Oh my God, no be a hell.
Ooh.
You haven't noticed it. What's a Bobby stand wrong? Bobby stand there, you can't even support it. And they just a to any. No, they just a pin. But Bobby not falling. No, say I falling. I can see I falling. I don't know what me bobo. Who boss a messa? No, they are too bright. No, they are too bright. Hey, Jinaho say.
A pumpy, but side, no. Woo.
Monica, sa. I don't know what said dinner wear, pa, ne papa, so I said Tosido, pa, na some more landed dinner, say.
With the cleavage showing, you know, this.
Hallelujah. And no.
Amen.
Don't sometimes I don't wish. Mama wish for Bobby stand. Bobby stand, you can't present it anywhere. And it is in Pimupe. Now in Pemusono it's private, it's not public.
That's right.
Ababono, you must be public conscious. Public conscious. What is here? Wives, no, people should feel proud because Mumu Samudiana are falling and Mutimubo. Bobby stand to me, Bobo. So you guys have something they don't have, but one can't tell them. Somebody has here.
But so one say a man money be a home, I know you.
They're not educated, they don't know.
Because of maturity.
When they go to kind of dinner dance, ni gala ni kahwa. No who for wives, no my dress, not just a breast na barber shell or more hase no. But you see, they don't know what it takes for it to get there. They don't know. On what day now so why they need hot tintini, Who say brides and also you were different types. If you were what's the no na they need ho.
Yeah.
I used to say training.
And with the push-up bra, push-up, yes, with the bottom.
Yes. May hear more details. What's it? Brad the bed now, you to me body shape. You be here, be where
we are being off air.
Off air. Yes, you offer.
Oh, let's say brides and the jazz. Money man. What do we Google?
The push-ups bring everything out to show the cleavage. Yeah, the push-ups and I know more the padded one be a share. I see no. And you know no koto no for us. So it push everything else up.
Exactly.
And that's the packaging.
It will share cleavage. Yeah, no na be hunane no for na carbon. The difference between say bakujina ha is together. Now you see a small line in it. That's why I say swatching. No, they are using cream as fast.
Baby oil, the baby oil.
Now, just a tija. No, a standing chain. A choke and with a little. Your friend is saying, oh my gosh, pendant. I got tunnel for the line. That's so.
Oh yeah.
The first thing you see. Or yourself, no, if you won't person a mass and won't can any craft first. The first place you watch is there because I think they attractive.
Very true. Very true.
Since our show we won't. It is for married people. This show is for married people. What is here? How to get back into the game. How to get back into the game. So that's here.
Yeah. Most definitely. I think in every relationship and marriages, you know, so how you guys talk to each other, how you treat each other, how you make each other feel. It's say and they become conscious of their body, and if they don't have any self-esteem because them ano kasa no bekano ebu ma bem tu obabi okro ni ni kunkom pem a onyi ni hu da ube hu da so bo ne brides ya no she shirt wo soro se be ma ni yi ni hu abehu no wachiamwa because in some our country the only place obema was obebi okrempo ma be ma wonfa enkanase entino the our wording sani ni huka for kasano we have to be very mindful because words can break or make someone. Into the more you have like positive encouragement, and no bema or huka for ban benya obana na se bema no ebenya vim into no se eba impamun komodie na like everyone gets excited. You have to encourage each other. Into no any addition and me a relationship now with no relationship or friendship and certain intent to me there's no emotional connection there's no quality time spending, effective communication. I mean, we talk about all this, they all entwine. Skills, you have to learn little by little. Even wherever. They can never learn all the coping skills, but I see a senior debate me a boy and your man so and your body no a change. Somebody no, especially if you me say me kushia me no for kwempo than in some cry na me near because na me no for yankete. You answer no. I may kakana me who say me one for na me wo me 12-year-old na nsu be na mu na me no this time my message pictures I me taking every pictures was up here.
Oh yeah.
And me boss she mu pa na me cleavage and na my me say cheese now turn make a turn me to try pictures because I wanted to remind myself that means me no for sabi so like because nothing many aje and I will try no for no and come back to the little tiny one. It just stay as it is because me mommy say I remember when she was in Ghana, she maintained her slim fit after having 5 kids. But then when she came abroad, working overnight, she put on weight. And I realized when she put on weight, she put weight on her thighs, butt, and breast. So my family line, when we put on weight now, we have places that we gain weight. But if you're not very careful, you're going to get a gut. But to say you can work on your gut, I didn't to say, like, once I have my 12-year-old and I realized that, hey, send me to me and you for you. Into the nanny, a meshantadi, a stress me one no for any kitty but gradually, because say, while mama and conscious of it, because every time I think that he felt that my indifference, because when he touches my breast now my pull back a little bit, but no to say no so no you Mr. Yikakra, but oh I love your breast, this and that, that natural, it got me to like enjoy being naked on the bed with him, to say then you wouldn't have for I'm a dicer. And so you need to make your partner feel good and positive, and also to me spike up more and also to me because we enjoy each other.
Mr. Topper, what have you learned tonight?
My main landed back on the top and we who's that? Who's that? My wife here or a plus. What I really love about my wife is that she knows how to dress. She knows how. She has a place. She has a shop where they sell plus dresses. Now she's always. Maybe I will say, Madam will be catching himself. What you wear is you. I will say it again. What you wear is you. Before you have to look at your body composition. The daddy will feel that one day you could dinner baby negotiate my wife the cousin be or no or extra plus. Now or a doctor, very highly educated, but was in the boyfriend Jano into a sad into a frame madam no be some madam say me know we are of the same size and my boyfriend has left me and I'm depressed and I don't know what to do. Into open madam catch him friend madam said, listen, talk to her. Why don't you just take her to the shop that you do your shopping? Why don't you spend some time with her? Because you know, men, we are attracted to what we see. Let her build her confidence in herself and dress to fit her body. As I'm talking to you, there's only Dr. Bine Edeti to say. So, what am I saying? Your body will change and you can't do anything about it. The only thing is to love yourself, appreciate yourself, and do something about it. What you wear is you. Me say, sorry. Excuse me to say, sorry. Ghana, sorry. Your sisters need me now. Body. Me say, madam. I mean, sometimes we say sleep and cabano. So mu dua. And time boy in a certain way. So we do too much sleep and cabano and time boy. So you have to change. And then by force, you have to put on sleep and kaba all the time. Because in Tadebi they are light, into Tadebi home, some materials were a light. We see, no, you see, Atanagasa belt or not, they are found.
Yeah.
So my goddess, no, the goddess should just be beneath your breast. Goddess, it covers the stomach. So I can say, well, one day I'll just ask Madam to come on this program and then maybe she'll just give some teachings on that. Master, dear share what you wear is also very important.
Ooh, you know,
look, we have some beauty contests for plus people. Master, who will be our open slim girls who cause that beauty contest now, you fall in love with a plus lady. The way they've tied themselves and look, everybody is beautiful. Oh.
Very much so.
Everybody is beautiful. Oh.
Very much. So,
yes.
I mean, added something. When I met my husband, after a year and a half, I have to stop wearing silk dress, silk skirts. The reason why they say, prior to meeting my husband, they say, so don't worry, and I said, we are younger, and I said, like, not as mature as you are now. You dress to impress. It say, silk and so no, because of the sleek of it, you know. So we very nice and soft now, and my tone bouncy a lot. And you know, to say like I used to wear such clothes, you know. I love long skirts and long dresses, and you know, and one and I me share them near but me share me kuno. I realize say me changes our outfit, you know, because I didn't want too much eyes on me now, because they say, you know, I felt like I was in a committed relationship, so I didn't want to attract that attention on me no more. So, and you know, to say like. You maybe you know, that attraction. Even now, I mean, to say I have a couple silk a year, I wear it for a particular reason, just to seduce my husband. I mean, now he knows because he listens to most of the program and he's in the house. He hears me saying it. I buy certain clothes to seduce him purposely.
Yeah.
You know? That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's what you okay. What it?
It's not switching around.
Brandon new crowd to say, well, I said, Dan, then his eyes just popped out. Did you see that? Mr. Topa, what kind of seminar?
You know what Sister Adoja said is true, right?
Yeah.
Some forget about being married. I go out, I see chicks, women, I admire them, right? Okay. And the thing is, of course, I will not go chase them. I look.
Yeah.
I sometimes even call my wife and then you know, I tell her what I saw. Other times we go together. I mean, in town together, we see someone. I prompt her like this: "Hey, let's check this chick out." And we just, you know, we just give her a comparison and whatever we've seen, and we laugh. Cool. Yes. So, like I say, you buy something to seduce your husband. And I tell you, there are lots of cases where a man has seen something else that he likes it. It looks nice on, you know, on the woman. Comes home, suggests to the wife, and the wife, no, I wait. You know, that can, that's, no, you have to learn new things. And just, you know, because like you say, if today I can, oh, come on, let's try this. No, tomorrow, no, all the time, no. What do you think happens next?
He's going to go outside.
I'm going to start chasing. Because what I'm trying to see at home, you don't want to make it work. But, you know, yeah.
I mean, like, we need to learn to adapt, right?
Correct.
You learn new things as we grow. Our body changes. Even our men, their body changes. The size of their penis changes also. You know, and for the men, as they grow, stomach, you know.
Yes, the stomach.
The penis for better now, West.
Some of them go to like first, depending how big their stomach is growing. And then, so it's like, we need to learn to step outside our comfort zone and also encourage your partner, because at times, you know, there are some partners, size don't matter because they know how to work their waist. They know how to swing it, and really make sure that they certify their women. And it's not only the penis that gets a woman to
We are sure the size does not matter here in this case. We are sure.
From the things that I have learned, things that I have studied, right? Yes, size, you know, there are some men who do not have big penis. They don't have small penis, is medium, and like the small one, they might have a problem, because if you have a small penis and you have a woman who has a sizable vagina, you're in trouble, because once you enter, you're going to get lost. But like, you know, having a medium penis can fit into any vagina size. You just need to learn coping skills that will help you to better, because there are some instances, you know, when a man thrusts inside or penetrate inside a woman's vagina, now you either have to decide if you're going to stay on the left side, where does she feel it the most? That's why it's important for women to express with words how they like their husband to make love to them, have sex with them, you know, do quickies and stuff, and also like do different things, because when you do different things, you know, it's going to give you, the woman and the man, which position that you can get more satisfaction. But some of our women do not want to exploit. Once they learn one position, that's what is stuck with them, because they don't want to try anything. They're fearful of failing. But if you don't fail about something, and also when you try new position, the first couple times it's going to be uncomfortable because you're not used to that position. But you need to give yourself the opportunity to grow into it and, you know, really enjoy it. But the fact that some people are like old-fashioned, the one way, they get stuck, and then their partner gets bored. When people get bored, they don't have anything to do. They don't want to read. They don't want to watch TV. They don't want to play games. What else they do? They go outside and act their fantasy. There are some men, they have this fantasy in their head, some of the things they want to do with their wives, but the wife does not want to be part of it. So how do you expect him to like get those out of it? You know, I like my husband to have a lot of imagination. I like him to have daydream-like scenarios, some of the things that we can do that we have not done before. I like to exploit, but some women don't like to exploit. Some men don't like to exploit. So we need to learn from each other. Reading romance book, sex book can also help motivate you. Some people will be like, oh, I can't read. They have audios that you can listen to excite you. Listen to love songs. Some of the wording that they're saying, you know, Pastor Martin said, like, you know, he likes watching classic movies and stuff because he learns big words from it. You have to play your game right. You have to be creative. Don't be a boring partner. Because when you're a boring partner, because you are boring. You're not an exciting partner. And you know my baby yeah. And no na Emma ya warrior ne ye bedroom agro die no. Enko ye Emma ye no. But it say bema wo emema omu ebema esano. They lack of so much confidence. They don't have any self-confidence into light, you know. How are you turning off light? Because when you are about to sleep with the person that you have promised to spend the rest of your life with, I want to see my husband's physique, how he looks under the lamp, under the light. I want to see everything from top to bottom. And I want him to see everything from top to bottom. I want him to see me as I am with no clothes on him, because that's how I like it. Some couples don't like that. They go to bed still enclosed, buy transparent clothing, high heels, just to get excited. That's some of the things that you have to do. Get pum pum shorts. Baby, I won't go to an annual matter to Kwan. Or to one of my or to one any tea boom. Uko bedroom honoma when ni beba will be fun and a bed your bed when better than what you know in a honum. You don't ask him what he's doing there, because you know exactly what you did. That got him to come to the room with you. Meme ibia wa wonso a wo bi nso na wo mpese obedi ukun na o pa bonti as me mpese obi abedi me kun wasem ne sen you confused.com. Enti no many be ho no ma they create their own situation. Many be to create your own situation, but it's good to have an imaginary mind, because having good sex it connects with that. You have to be creative.
Ebusia, asa nkomo we de esi ye sheda sinkonya sex education in marriage. Yes, ye here. Ye be sheda sinkonya wo ho. So when you say sister Jodo, you know me enu nyina de nkomo bi say no, ye ni je ho. Sister ama wayira na ni komo akoda we dan ho. Now before we wrap it up, no, Mr. Topa, what have you learned and what are your last words?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so today has been, very educative. And one thing I have learned is to be open with one's spouse, right? Especially when it comes to keeping the sparkle in the marriage. Yes. And one thing is to continue giving giving compliments, right? It helps boost one's the partner's self-esteem, and that goes a long way. The other thing is whatever happens, especially the bad, be man about it and apologize, right? Do well to strive not to repeat that bad thing you did. And for the women, I think, one other thing, we talked about physique, correct?
Yeah.
We all change with age, bodies change and all of that. The easiest or the most common one is to exercise. Do your best. As much as you can do. Every little helps. A few times you might seek cosmetic, intervention, and that is expensive. Not everyone can do it. Others, if exercising is difficult, you can use clothing, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, clothing. So who mentioned the bra? So Pastor Martin says he really likes it. You get a bra to boost. You roll the breast, you boost the, all of that. You can use clothing to enhance your physical appearance. Yeah. So I think we have good things to use to keep the sparkle in our marriages. And of course, read books.
No, please finish.
Yeah, so of course, read books. One was just recommended by Sister Odo. She took us through 3 different number 17, number 18, and number 28, 29, correct? And I tell you, this book I'm going to order right after this program.
Did you write the numbers down?
8, 17, 18, and 29.
Yes. You see what you've done.
So
you see what you've done to the nice Lolo. He was a good boy till you came. Look at you.
Wow. Why fear Diloto say?
I tell you no joke. I tell you no lie. I tell you no. It's a book no me cut off. Yeah.
Let's go to Google and download it.
Okay. I will get that.
I find this
I find the Mr. Sia me here.
Yeah, who is a draw book, no, but me, I'm here book.
Randy Fox.
Book. Stop it.
I would say, I draw or do the book ni free. I don't know anything about any of the things Adra Odo was saying. She just happens to be my sister. I love very much. But her clandestine activity, I have no engagement in. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Sister Amma, what do you have to say? Your last words here, then.
My last words, Nese, in everything, be fair.
Okay.
To who you live with. If you want to be happy, give happiness first. It will be returned to you, double portion, pressed down, running over. That's the general principle of life. Oh, now pesa wo ba. Di kaima ni pano a wone ne da ne homra. Ne homba na ni gina so so peso tua wo ka said ye wonwuma sa ehwo na abehunu where your friend said the difference really lies. So wo kwana wo hwehwe wo dia won sanka. Nipa ne behunu se wusisi no. Or the adwin kese beto ho ebebo mu nyina woni onipa ya ade na wo wodwin nipa ne ho kane na wo pede ebeboa no e de mano a ono nso so in most cases will return the favor and it will be a great experience. Wonim se wo ho yi wo maame a wo pesa wo do no a ma nipa ne so no ne die bi wutimi mpa do no ne maame ne bi no so ado wo die ne bi. Now my interactions between afenu no are seamless. Are back. Oya ne wo de ne me de ne de ne so no ye ba mu a obi aso wo kwan obefa so obeye no. Emfa ani jema emfa hotoma. E much better. Se mo beka afenu na bom. Na aye one big collective family. A obi ado ne yonko dwen ne yonko ho. E wa dwen pa ma ne yonko. Obi amaso obesisi ne yonko. Wo befa ba ko ho de ayeyi. No de bre abegu ba ko apampa. And I'm a person DC.
Wow.
Oh, God bless you, my darling. God bless you. Permission to fall out granted. You can go to bed at any point.
Nice.
Happy New Year.
Also,
Happy New Year, Lola. Don't overuse it. Why?
Yeah.
Mean you overuse it.
Man, quiet dear winty mean and pep home bubu bia.
No.
And yourself also dear na wasi ane ye pon. Close yourself. Umpire my name.
Takra me the best so I say. Yeah, mammy no only sisters no we are plus no. They shouldn't give up. You know, one so no more dream say. They are not part of the fashion idea. I just want them to know, say, Oko fashion more. Almost so matter the share so almost shell kamasana, they look very, very presentable. And again, I'll say it again. Say what you wear is you. Now say unim dia obesha and just said dia obesha ne bini ho. You just need to educate yourself. Talk to the right people, look through magazines. You know, when you're watching movies and you see some of these classic movies, people's wears and things, pay particular attention. So we'll be to me a screenshot, whatever it is, and no a screenshot, no oko design our and yet by force say China also say slit and kaba. Now say GTP Nikra, they are able to design it in a very fashionable way. I wish it looks very presentable. And yet by force say China will say oko pamu kaba. And I wish slit. Musa say it's a traditional way, but to see abrabon ye na ye ko ye nim ubehye ye be fatal your ho be tall ye be ma o kamfo ne ho beje ne ni beje you know nti I only end on the plus ye sisters ni ma me no ni ya kamfo no mo ye plus no. Look, you are still part of the game. You are not out of the game. You are in the game. When you na ka ho na de no so adoso. Nti ye na me ka. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Also, just Adra pon to say ya pon yen.
So me de come in nua me nua ma mo de no ho ne say to say in every situation there are trillions of solutions. When it comes to positive aspect na a negative aspect, there's always one. And assemblea mo relationship mo say wunya abotre wunya ntoboase na uma woni wo ho ka for emre, because it is say we say wo force nyoma eno no create other situations na emma enoma enko ye emma mo da bia mo to ho no ma na say obi hunye obi ehi. Effective communication ya de bi ehia wo every relationship nipa brabo. How it say kasade ne kasapa. Kasade no mention kasada wodi be 419 and sembia sua kasade wo be hu kwan a wo ne wo hokafo wo be kasa time am be spending with each other. Nya self-care. Wo hwe wo ho so wodi wo ho so self-care no to say nya emrema wankasa wo ho. Na nya mrema wo ne wo hokafo. Enkola wo mu a wo nya mre ama wo ne nkola no. And bibi a mo beye bia no awofo no mo ye bom enye se we ye ne de e na we nso aye ne de, because yes na you guys are splitting is not good. But empemu komodie na ade ba ko aye ha adwen ese nyoma bebre any hygiene obema bia na so oba bia empe se oni ne ho kafo a ne ho bon ebeda, because it's a major turn off. Say nye hwema, believe in me, oba bema bia emma wo ene nda ena no beda krampo abi hunu aso ne hwe ana so de ti a kire baby nti no wo ye yikra na aka so person ho beba so de ma ho mra me ho amakra ye eno no the two of you are not enjoying. Ena your marriage and soon relationship no see etimi sua coping skills nyoma bia ebema ya solve your problem. If you are willing to create a problem in your marriage or your relationship now, be willing to find solutions. If you want to solve a problem, don't create situations. Most of the time, normal cause problems in their marriages, no, create a lot of problems in their marriage by accusing, assuming, their perception, they lack of understanding, they lack of so many things, knowledge, they are immature, they don't have self-discipline, they don't have any type of nothing, self-confidence, self-love, self-care, nothing at all. They are expecting their partner to make them happy. There's no Prince Charming and there's no queen. We have to make our own Prince Charming as women, and as men, you have to make your own queen, and you have to develop mutual respect in your relationship. So that's something that I want to leave with friends, families, followers, sister seekers, supporters, and people who normally share the program, and those who will invite other friends, because we all learning from each other every time. Don't make yourself look say they are the ones that struggle the most.
Yes,
because say what the many beba ne ho so na akofa ensem bebre wuni mo crash yade, because so and don't think say you better than other people, because and also another certain condition we have to like support each other. Your custom and your relationship is very important. And don't men know bad they be not into marble. I mean, what and say your time is done. You have to dress nicely. Obinka say excessively at a to say like hoochie. No. Dress decent. You know, bema wuhuka for when you home now show legs. Send your beya wuhuka for wudra wasra wana who to say kuto any a shell butter a cocoa butter, you know, and my skin it toss so come. So what is rana why you say so chain. Then my man is more quabontina muhu baby so shadi a modi manishena a fata or bana munto bimra muirenom. Well, you didn't share crack as all the won't share quabontin crash with fear mammy. Encourage them, and little by little, no things will change because you're 21st century. We say, me quan trema dia, me then who say, adia me no, en quay. It is a me one grow dear and ya after make a walk train and now before he needs to speak to me because men are met me. I am in Huajuma. The now of one can never come to me and make me change. And you know, limitation of a nipa when you are about warrior limited. Mumi and moon solve mon problems most of the time, and then no best sample on there. Mube shiadie. They say who gugu bibia. Miss sister, but yes, it's about a Francis. My son way na bro, but to say man faster Google. Why you guys go to Google and you get it from Google, yeah. And we need to be safe with the positions because because if you have a full send no she will be na what taking some why no this star never you know. Just use your emotional intelligence. Tiasie na hu sade we metimi aye men koya ade bi a wo kurampo no wo master mu na afede o create so many problems into ye kire ye ho ade na ye nhia ade mfi ye ho no because obi ansin obi.
Hey, Abusia, wait dear. I have to say a big thank you to you guys. You've been on now for the last over almost 2.5 hours.
Wow.
God bless you guys for your time.
I'm glad I made it today.
I know, right?
And I claimed the best time, my favorite part. Yeah.
We did learn a lot from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I atopan so me paucho upese wusia good atopan bua bonyum na sa na fa bu atopan wo fie enu wo fie wo bu atopan ne wo pe wo ye adwuma na it will come back to you.
Thanks for the tip.
You welcome.
Until Nyankupo Shiramunina. Happy New Year. Thank you guys so much for your time.
With the question be here. With the sister Joadia. Now who say Madame for Olume Betty has it. This is your law. Okay. And no style bang. With the two because I just want the solution.
Said this is your law can I say when Guinea City ye aim guni moon yet your bayana. I say or money ne hoka for ye more a cowgirl. Cowgirl no or bano and a betina bear so and Tisan describe it as a tender way stay no trap no and no cowgirl no you were different position cowgirl no be or band bet me at na bear so with her legs outside bear mano and nine bear man stretching a leg into who face the bear mano and now say we bet me in a side way into bear man that straight is saying to what into bear man who side no for no obey who sideways or for no and after you will do it back into a chin a children into so per se or a ye or so no for na or the sabe more to get hold of breast, you know, and no, or most of the time, no, taking charge of that.
Okay.
And normally, remember now, matupamun kampapano. I have tried to encourage you to get up on top of you. Over the top, But it says, in due time, no, to say, be on say normally, say, and you giddy now. Start with romance song. Now listen to the lyrics. What they say, you just swing, you go around, you move with the song, the lyrics, and if your back is hurting you, but also, I say what omega. And this class omega, with joint pains. And say be a non so a create a year, and no bet me a year, mamma be a free me sitting in what me ask when they come.
Thank you so much, guys. God bless you.
Thank you.
I love you all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.
Sika educate, ya wo Facebook, YouTube, and Insta. Sika educate, ya kasafa abumde awari and impunto. Sika educate, or don't come up, run a yanya ya who are true. Sika educate, unyane baby, Sika educate. It's like a page, you know, I am vibe it. But more than YouTube, subscribe it. Sika educate is the name. All our man source and the camp. Inspiration, motivation, modern education. For Canada, when it's here, or don't come or Ekusika Deva. For Canada, Bema Jai, or don't come or Ekusika Deva. Sika educate, ya wo Facebook, YouTube, and Insta. Sika educate, ya kasafa abumde awari and impunto. Sika